Hey guys, welcome to the review show. My name's Austin. The Boogeyman is a brand new Stephen King adaptation. There's always one or two of these adaptations every year, and so I always have to put myself through the suffering of going out and seeing these adaptations. Children in the Corn. I don't think a lot of people saw. That was pretty bad. High school student Sadie Harper and her young sister Sawyer are still reeling from the recent death of their mother when a desperate patient unexpectedly shows up at their house seeking help. He leaves behind a terrifying supernatural entity that preys on families and feeds on the suffering of their victims. Off that description, that sounds like something like It. So that's Pennywise. That's basically what this sounds like. And not gonna lie, I was actually really enjoying this movie for the first two acts. And next, for the third act, kind of goes, meow. This movie had somewhat of a psychological thriller to it. This was more terrifying to me when they were being its own thing, and it's they were setting up some lore type of deal. You don't learn that much about the creature, which is fine, but this patient comes along and suddenly after you had a family member passing from, and I say this entity is haunting these children, and they don't know if it's real or not, if it's in their heads or if it's from just trauma of losing somebody. There is so much that was going into this film, and by the third act it just turns into a cliche horror film. Literally, it turns into a very cliche horror film. As soon as they figured out how to beat the Boogeyman, because it's fear of lights. Is that really a spoiler? I don't know. I'm pretty sure you guys would have figured that out anyways without. It cannot survive in light. And so by the third act, they're running around in this house in the dark, and it's if they turn on the light, boom, problem solved. And that's the end of it. But no, our characters are suddenly stupid by the end of the movie. It doesn't make any sense. It's they're being smart throughout the movie, and but it's also kind of being curious about certain things. Oh, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just in my head. Maybe it's not. I don't know. And they go back and forth between that. But then by the end, they're just cliche characters, and you start predicting. Jump scare 1, 2, 3. Jump scare. There you are. Perfect. Predict how the movie was gonna go, and of course, yep, that right on time there. But I mean, it's better than Children of the Corn. I don't hate this movie. I do really enjoy the first two acts very well. It's definitely better than Firestarter. That fucking movie was fucking pointless. And the acting was pretty well done. I think Vivien Blair, is that how you say her name? She was in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Despite everything that that series done terribly, it's shown that she had talent as an actor, and so she really worked in this film as a scared young kid. Especially when she gets thrown around a couple times, I'm like, oh gosh, I felt for this character. And Sophie, Thatcher, she, if that's how you even say her name as well. She really does hold up this movie, and she carries it because she's also the character, the main lead in the film, and she's kind of figuring out things, and she comes to this realization, oh wait, this thing is real, and there is a backstory, and there's someone that knows about this thing, and it's oh great, all right, we're gonna go through the cliches here. This is where the movie goes downhill. That's sort of the midway of the second act as well. And so it's kind of just a slow decline throughout the whole entire movie. That's kind of my thoughts on the Boogeyman. I mean, are you guys gonna really skip this over? Are you guys gonna go skip Spider-Man to go see this? I highly don't think so. But I mean, if you're not into Marvel or anything, then you probably would. But yeah, it's a mixed bag for me. I wish it wasn't that cliche horror movie. It could have been more of a psychological thriller or something on those lines. But I would say that this movie opens in a way I didn't think that they would go. They went to places for PG-13 movie, you kind of go, oh, yikes, But they also kind of sort of hide certain scenes in the dark. It's like, oh, that explains why it's PG. That they couldn't get away with it in PG-13. Okay. And like, you don't really see, and it's like, and another thing with the third act is that since they can't really turn on lights, so it's like you're just kind of running through, you're just watching them running through like dark hallways and all of that and throughout this house, and you're just like, what the hell is going on? Like, what the hell is going on? And like, because you can't turn on a light or see the creature or anything, so it's like you're just kind of just like waiting for them to do their thing, and boom, such and such. I'm gonna give the Boogeyman a C-. I thought it was fine, but I'm definitely not gonna remember this in a couple of days. By the end of the year, I'll be like, if I was looking through my list of like, you know, best to worst whatever movies, I'll be like, oh, the Boogeyman, that was a movie. Don't hate it, but I forgot about that. But yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like always, I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye, guys.